The Maricopa Association of Governments, better known as MAG, has a new chair. He is Kevin Hartke. He's the mayor of Chandler, and Mayor Hartke joins us now to talk about his vision for this regional association. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
It's good to be back.
Let's get some folks who aren't familiar with MAG and the Maricopa Association of Governments. What is it?
So MAG is a planning agency that represents all of the cities and agencies as well as the tribes in the greater Maricopa area. So it represents 33 entities, 27 cities, Pinal County, Maricopa County, and ADOT. So it has a large scope. It's quite engaged in areas that cross jurisdictions like transportation, homelessness, heat relief, and air quality.
And how difficult is it to get all of those entities together on the same page? Is it like herding cats sometimes?
You know, surprisingly not. Mayors are people that understand collaboration, and on these big issues, we want to come together because we realize that what affects either Phoenix or Goodyear also affects Chandler.
I was going to say, because in the past, the dim and distant past, provincialism did kind of rear its head every now and then. Seeing less of that these days?
Definitely less.
Yeah. Transportation issues, always big in terms of cooperation because you got to go from one place to another and you go through a lot of... How does that work? Is this a priority of yours, A? And B, if so, what you going to do about it?
It's definitely a priority. And we were involved as mayors and MAG to work with our communities and stakeholders to put together what is now Prop 479, which in a slightly different form was approved by our legislators and will be on the ballot in November. So if our voters approve this, we are ready to implement this. It'll help with freeways, with roads, with cycling paths, with mass transportation, and some other things as well.
Okay, and this obviously the effort is to get the word out and get the vote out. Is there a contingency plan if something like this doesn't pass?
Boy, that's a good question. I think every city then is thrown into what do we do? And there's so many of these projects that are huge, like freeway projects, that have a long runway in terms of planning. So if this is interrupted, it will certainly throw our transportation system into the air. And we pride ourselves on having a much shorter commute than cities like LA or Houston or Denver. But if this doesn't happen, it'll severely increase our time on the streets.
Other aspects of transportation. Electric vehicles, infrastructure to adapt to electric vehicles. What is involved, what needs to be done, and is there a pathway there?
There definitely is, and MAG is also convening these types of sessions, working with our power grid companies, APS, SRP, talking with cities to make sure that we're aware of the need and looking at grants that could help sustain the valley. This also helps our air quality, which is another one of our big assignments.
Yeah, I want to get to air quality in a second here, but with electric vehicles and with technology in general, I mean, you're a mayor and you're obviously the chair of MAG now. I mean, the goalposts move with technology quite a bit. I mean, how do you manage that?
Well, one of the things that we were happy to see also in this 479 plan is funding innovations that we don't even know what they are totally. I know Mayor Phoenix, Mayor Gallego, myself, and other mayors really saw that as a strong, important ingredient because this funding source will continue for 20 years. And I don't know how much closer we'll be to the Jetsons at that time.
All right, let's talk about ozone pollution. I know that's a priority, as you mentioned, pollution in general. Why ozone in particular?
Well, ozone is, it's certainly a noxious ingredient that we have some elements producing it here, but we are also importing a lot of ozone from California, even from Asia. So there's a lot of this issue that we are finding it to be a hard pill to swallow because we are not certain that we're able to do the reductions necessary in light of this looming serious designation that may be upon us soon.
I was going to say, talk about the EPA and what the EPA wants to see and how realistic that is.
It's going to be tough to see. What we will put together a plan. What I want to do is I don't like to put together plans that are are on paper only, just to give you time to do something. So we are working with other Intermountain cities such as Denver, Salt Lake, and others to try to get the EPA to do a study to see where does ozone come from.
Yeah, so there is modeling going on out there and best practices in the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
Heat relief, a big issue this time of year, obviously, but it's maybe, I would imagine every city has concerns regarding heat relief. What's MAG doing about it?
So MAG is coordinating and working with every city to, as well as mapping and identifying cooling stations, heat relief stations, encouraging cities to see what they can do more. Very often, heat relief is connected with people who are experiencing homelessness. And last year was an unfortunate record year of people dying on the streets. We would love to get a handle on that and reduce that number drastically.
From your position as a mayor and now chair of MAG, let's talk about those experiencing homelessness. Supreme Court decision comes down, and I want to know how that impacts Chandler and how that impacts the Valley.
Related to the case in Oregon?
Camping, yes.
Yeah. So it's got us all re-looking at this, but I know for us as a city, it allows us, hopefully, to have a few more teeth to prevent someone from occupying a bus station, for example, and not allowing it to be, and camping in there and not allowing it to be used. We don't have quite the homelessness issues that central cities and others do, but it'll certainly be a new tool for us to be able to help people move along rather than just camping along streets and parks.
Is that a way, can cooperation play a part in that?
Yes, and one of our other issues that are ways that we're working together with MAG is that we have put together a plan to identify and see how we can work on housing, model this better, map this better, and lower homelessness by 25% as our goal in the next several years.
Mayor, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on being the new chair of MAG, and we will look forward to speaking with you in the future.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.